Most people think they need more motivation to succeed. But here's a hard truth. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when it wants. Discipline, on the other hand, that's your real superpower. If you've been struggling to study English, feeling stuck, or saying, "I'll start tomorrow," this video will change the game for you. You don't need more willpower. You need a system, a rhythm. And today, I'm going to teach you how to build it. Hello, welcome to English Cactus. My name is Anna. Before we continue, make sure to grab your free PDF in the video description. It has everything you need from today's lesson. And thank you so much for watching my videos, leaving your comments, and sending me messages. Your support truly helps keep this channel alive and growing. This lesson will help you study English in a fun, simple, and natural way while improving your listening skills. I suggest using the shadowing technique. First, listen to the story. Understand the message. Then go back, pause after each sentence, and repeat it out loud with me. Match my rhythm. This simple method will boost your pronunciation and fluency. Fast. So, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Now grab your coffee, relax, and let's begin. You know, people often say they just need more motivation. If I feel inspired, I'll start tomorrow, they say. But here's the truth. Motivation is not the engine. It's the spark. And sparks fade fast. Real success, especially when you want to study English or learn anything new, comes from discipline. Discipline is doing it anyway. On the boring days, on the rainy days, on the I don't feel like it days. It's setting a time, showing up and doing the work, like brushing your teeth. You don't ask, "Do I feel motivated to brush today?" No, you just do it. And that's the secret. If you want to learn English, discipline will take you farther than motivation ever will. Now imagine this. You set a tiny goal to study English for just 10 minutes each day. Nothing crazy. Just open your notebook, review 3 words, or repeat a short dialogue. That act, done consistently, builds a mental muscle called self-trust. Every day your brain learns, I show up for myself. You don't need fireworks. You don't need a mood. You need a decision. Discipline makes English learning part of your identity. Not a wish, not a dream, but a habit. And when it becomes a habit, something amazing happens. You begin to grow, even when you don't notice it. So what's the first small thing you'll do today? When people think about changing their lives, they often imagine big moves. I'll study English for 2 hours every day, or I'll go to the gym 5 times a week. But let's be honest, those plans rarely last. Why? Because they're heavy. Real change begins with tiny habits, just 5 minutes a day. That's it. Open your notebook. Listen to a short English story. Say 3 new words out loud. These little actions seem small, but they carry something powerful. Momentum. And momentum, once it starts, has a magical way of pulling you forward. Think of it like a snowball, rolling down a hill. It starts small, so small you might laugh. But each time you study English for 5 minutes, the snowball grows. You build confidence. You build rhythm. You build something that no motivation can replace. Trust in your own process. One of my students started with just 5 flashcards per day. Now she's reading English books. It didn't happen overnight, but it started with 5 minutes. So if 5 minutes is all you've got today, then take it. Because tiny habits, they grow into something unstoppable. Everyone loves setting big goals. I want to be fluent in English. I want to lose 10 kilos. Sounds exciting, right? But here's the catch. Goals don't get you there. Systems do. A goal is a destination, but a system is the car that takes you there every single day. If you focus only on the destination, you'll feel lost when progress is slow. But when you focus on building a daily system, like 15 minutes of English listening before breakfast, you remove the stress and give your brain a routine it can follow. It's not about the goal, It's about what you do every day. Let me give you an example. I had a student who wanted to speak fluent English in 6 months. Ambitious, right? But instead of stressing over that big goal, we created a system: morning vocabulary practice, a short podcast at lunch, and 5 sentences written before bed. No pressure, just rhythm. 3 months later, she told me, "Anna, I didn't even notice, but I'm speaking without fear now." That's the power of a system. It works in the background while you live your life. And once your system is in place, you'll start to enjoy the ride a whole lot more. Let's be honest. If something feels boring, we avoid it. That's human nature. So what if instead of forcing yourself to study English, you actually enjoyed it? That's the secret behind building strong habits. Make them attractive. Add something fun. Watch your favorite Netflix show with English subtitles. Dance while listening to English songs. Turn your notebook into a colorful space with stickers and doodles. The habit doesn't need to be hard. It needs to feel good. And when it feels good, your brain says, "Hey, let's do this again tomorrow." One of my favorite tricks? Pair your habit with something you already love, like having your favorite coffee while reviewing vocabulary, or walking in the park while listening to an English podcast. I had a student who loved drawing, so she started drawing pictures of new words instead of writing them. Guess what? She remembered them faster. When your brain sees learning as a reward, not a punishment, it shows up again and again. So next, time you sit to study English, ask yourself, how can I make this fun today? Sometimes it's not about willpower. It's about the space around you. If your desk is messy, your phone is distracting, and your books are hidden, it's hard to study English, even if you want to. But when you create a clean, inviting environment, something shifts. Try this. Put your English notebook where you can see it. Keep your favorite pen ready. Place a sticky note with your goal on the wall. These little changes tell your brain, this matters. And when your space supports your goals, your actions follow naturally. Think about how a gym makes it easy to work out. The weights are ready. The music is energizing. Everything says, let's move. Now, apply that same idea to your English learning corner. Maybe add a small lamp, a cozy chair, and a playlist of calm study music. You don't need a big room, just a little space that feels like a learning zone. When you walk into it, your brain should say, it's time to grow. Because success doesn't just happen, it's designed. And your environment is one of the best tools you have. Here's something powerful. You don't have to do it alone. When you share your goals with someone, whether it's a friend, a teacher, or a learning group, you add a secret weapon to your journey: accountability. Knowing that someone is checking in with you, cheering you on, or even just asking, "Did you practice today?" can make a huge difference. I've seen this with English learners who started WhatsApp groups just to send 1 sentence a day. Nothing fancy, but that tiny act, shared with others, kept them going on the hard days. Imagine having a study buddy who learns with you. You both choose a word of the day, talk about it, and help each other grow. Or maybe you post your daily progress on Instagram stories, just a short sentence in English. That small bit of pressure, mixed with encouragement, creates momentum. We're social creatures. We want to be seen, so use that to your advantage. Surround yourself with people who also want to grow, because when you build your circle right, their energy becomes your fuel, and it changes how far you can go. Willpower is not infinite. It's like a battery. You start the day full, but as decisions pile up, your energy drops. That's why it's so important to do your most important tasks, like studying English, when your mind is fresh. For most people, this means in the morning, before the noise of the day begins. You don't need an hour, just 10 to 20 minutes. A focused practice can make a huge difference. Think of it as giving your best self to your goals, before your energy is used up by emails, chores, and social media. Some of my students say, "But I'm not a morning person." That's okay. The key is to protect your peak energy time whenever that is. Maybe it's right after lunch or just before dinner. Find it and guard it like treasure. Use that golden window to review vocabulary, watch an English video, or do a speaking exercise. And here's a bonus tip. Drink a glass of water and stretch before you start. It wakes up your brain and tells your body, hey, it's time to learn. Because when your energy is strong, your discipline feels a whole lot easier. Have you ever felt tired before the day even starts? That's called decision fatigue. Every "should I do this now or later" drains your brain like a phone with too many apps running. But here's the good news. You can automate small decisions and save your energy for what really matters. For example, set a fixed time every day to study English. No debates, no questions. It's just what you do, like brushing your teeth. This simple routine removes the mental fight and gives you peace. I had a student named Marco who struggled to stay consistent. We discovered he was wasting energy each day deciding when to study. So we created a rule. Every day, after lunch, he watched one 5-minute English video. That's it. After 1 week, he didn't even think about it anymore. It became automatic. And when things are automatic, they're easier to repeat. Want to take it further? Choose your study outfit, playlist, or even what tea you'll drink. The less you think, the more you do. And when action becomes effortless, progress becomes inevitable. Have you ever noticed how tired you feel after making too many small choices? Even simple questions like, what should I eat? Or, when should I study English? Can wear you down. That's decision fatigue, and it's real. Every small choice you make uses up mental energy, leaving less power for the things that matter. The brain loves patterns. When you create automatic habits, you're not being lazy, you're being smart. You're designing your life to help you win, not wear you out. Let's say you want to study English daily. Instead of asking yourself every day when or how, decide once. And stick to it. Maybe every morning at 7 a.m. after coffee, you open your English app and do a 5-minute speaking exercise. Or every night after brushing your teeth, you write 2 sentences in your English notebook. These simple, repeated actions become part of your identity. You don't think about them, you just do them. And that's where the real magic happens, when learning becomes automatic. Want to level up? Try prepping the night before. Leave your notebook open on your desk. Set an alarm labeled, "Let's Study English." Create a playlist that starts playing at your study time. Some of my students even put their English flashcards next to their toothbrush. The less you need to decide, the more you'll actually do. Automation removes the friction between you and your goals. And when your path is smooth, it's much easier to keep going, especially when it leads to your next big breakthrough. Learning vocabulary isn't just about knowing the meaning, it's about knowing how to use words in real conversations. In the last few topics, I used words like discipline, momentum, accountability, and automate. These are great examples of intermediate to advanced English words that are common in personal development, productivity, and learning contexts. Let's break them down. Discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Try using it like this. Studying English every day takes discipline. Momentum means you're building energy as you move forward. Once I started, I gained momentum and didn't want to stop. Now, let's look at accountability. That's when someone helps you stay responsible. You could say, I joined an English group for accountability. It's a powerful word, especially when talking about learning with others. And automate? That means to make something happen automatically, like setting a time every day to study. A sentence example. I automate my English practice by doing it after breakfast every morning. These words help you talk about habits, routines, and growth in a much more natural, professional way. To practice these words, write each one in a sentence related to your life. Then say the sentence out loud. Next, ask yourself, how would I use this in a conversation? Try turning the word into a question for someone else, like, how do you stay disciplined when you feel tired? This moves you from memorizing to communicating. And here's a fun idea. Every week, choose 5 of these power words. Create a mini challenge. Use them in a voice note, a journal entry, or even a short video. You'll feel your English becoming richer, smarter, and more alive, and you won't want to stop. Let's talk about something that almost everyone forgets when learning English or starting anything new. We get excited, we go all in, and then we crash. That's because intensity burns fast. But consistency? That's the long game. It's better to study English for 10 minutes every day than 2 hours once a week. Why? Because your brain loves repetition. It needs to see, hear, and feel English again and again in small doses. Like watering a plant. It won't grow with one big splash. It grows with daily drops. Now think about brushing your teeth. You don't wait for a weekend toothbrushing marathon, right? You brush every day, even when you're tired. That's how learning works too. One of my students once told me, "Anna, I didn't feel like I was learning until I looked back 3 months later." That's the power of showing up daily, even when it doesn't feel dramatic. So whether it's listening to a podcast, while cleaning, or reviewing vocabulary during lunch, the magic is in the daily rhythm. No drama, just progress. And here's something fun. When you keep showing up, you start to enjoy it more. You stop waiting for the perfect mood or moment. You just do it. And suddenly you notice, wow, I understand more. I speak with confidence. This is where success lives. Not in perfection, but in practice. So if you're wondering what to do next, don't try to do everything. Just do something today, tomorrow, and the day after that. And guess what? You're already building something amazing. Now it's your turn. You've just learned powerful strategies that can completely transform how you study English. Not someday, but starting today. But remember, knowledge without action means nothing. So, what's the first tiny habit you'll build? What system can you set up to make English part of your daily life? Are you ready to trade intensity for consistency? Are you ready to stop waiting for motivation and start creating discipline? Leave your answer in the comments. I want to hear from you. Which tip from today's video spoke to you the most? Was it designing your environment, using accountability, or maybe automating your routine? Let's build this learning journey together. And of course, if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who needs it. Let's keep growing, one habit at a time. Your English, your future, it all starts now.